Give you a few minutes to get caught up. Join us Wednesday night live. It's midweek. It's hump day. It's getting through the week. Remember, you decide what kind of day you're having. So welcome everybody. Wednesday night, SFMF Live. Of course, you know I got some coffee. And it's a new mug. It's an old mug that I turned into an SFMF mug. Online. You can get these stickers online. Turn any mug into a Simplify My Friend mug. All right. So good evening, everyone. Welcome. We're live. It's Wednesday night. Right on schedule. Midweek. Summer is coming to a close. Oh, shoot. Let me pull it up on here. As you can tell, I am solo once again. Family is traveling. They're making it happen. So I need you to get my back. You know the deal. Watch for them idiots, the trolls. We don't have that many, but when we do, you guys definitely take care of them, and I appreciate that a lot. What kind of life could you have that you would just troll people's channels? Man, I kind of feel sorry for them, but then I don't, because then I think, what an idiot, right? Get a life. Join, like, and subscribe, and maybe you'll learn something. Stop trolling. What's up, Jake? Hurrah. So I am completely solo tonight with Mattis, so I guess I'm not solo. I don't want to leave the door open because he's been digging in the backyard. He thinks he can get a squirrel. I don't think he'll get it. Mike Smith is here. Hurrah. So again, I need y'all to watch for the trolls tonight. Watch my back. Me and Mattis. I'd love to be able to sick Mattis on one of them guys. Or girls. You don't know who's trolling. But again, what kind of life really could you possibly, how unhappy are you in your own life? You want to troll somebody's channel who's trying to do good. You said it, no, right there. Basement dwellers. Those are the 03 in the morning Walmart shoppers that you see those, those memes about. But I have been to Walmart at 3 in the morning. Give me a mod hammer. Carl, good to see you, brother. OG, Semper Fi, my friend. Good to see y'all. Good to see everyone. It's Wednesday. You know, I got some water, hydrating. Still hot, middle of summer. But I still have work to do, so I'm drinking coffee too. Yes, I'm double fisting it. You know, it's going to be hard not to talk about the latest, what's going on in our world today. Everywhere you turn. Of course, we're talking about the Secret Service, the local police, who's responsible, was it crazy? I talked to a friend, he called me that same day. He's like, bro, tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me it isn't clear as day that this was some shady, you know what. The weather has been nice. If you're talking about, it's been nice the last couple of days. It has been, not miserably hot. Shouldn't it be SDFM? Semper, TF? We'll see where that comes from. Jake, I'm having a hard time right now, but I don't troll people. I'm telling you, again, on my worst day, I wouldn't troll somebody's channel. Again, what kind of, how loser of a life could you be having? Have a bad day, take it out on someone else. Go for a run, go PT, go punch a heavy bag, take it out somewhere else. Don't get me started on the trolls. We did have someone, I went to was at a convention and we were talking about trolls for whatever reason. I don't know why they're taking space. But someone said when they troll something stupid, you know, look at your big bald head. You can't even see things because your head is so shiny. Whatever the comment is, you should reply with, hey, you may be right about that. And that's it. Right? Because once you fire back, because I've had some pretty dumb comments, very dumb comments where I could blast them, embarrass them, but that's all they want. They want to carry on a conversation, want to get you heated, and then talk about you, right? And then screenshot that, how you lost your cool with it. So they're more funny than they are anything else, and pathetic, really. So no worries, and I know y'all got my back. All right, shalom, Gabriel. I learned that the hard way, Jake. See, lesson learned though. At least you learn from it, right? That's a problem with these other people. They just don't learn, right? Like little kids, they just come on. They want attention. They have a need for attention. All right, Carl says, excuse me, Secret Service agents were shaking in their shoes, couldn't holster their weapons, not trained very well. Excuse me, oh my gosh, very embarrassing. DEI at its finest, we know that, right? That should not have been his detail. I want you to look up Mayweather. I want you to look up Mayweather's bodyguards. World champion boxer, stud, he can whoop some tail. His bodyguards are 3 times as big as him. He's got 4 of them surround him at all times. Just saying. Z-Corps says, Biden has COVID. He's dropping out Sunday. We'll see. We'll see, Z-Corps Alpha. When your own party wants you to drop out, I think that's a signal also. Many of them. Thoughts on the F-22? I don't know enough about it, Anonymous. I did time in the air wing, but it was at the air station, Kaneohe Bay, and we had the G-Force, the Gulfstream, G4, the jet, the CG's jet, the Mar 4 pack commanders. Actually, it was a NATO asset, or NATOPS. Man, it's been a long time. So it was an asset for the Far East, but the CG, the Lieutenant General, is the one who, we were his taxi. And I was there 18 months, so that's my limited exposure to the air wing. And Kaneohe Bay at the time had 46s and 53s. Now they have the Osprey. So I don't know enough about fixed wing to comment on that. Maybe somebody else does. All right. Saipinian, JTB, says, what's the best memories you have from the time spent being a new drill instructor and being an experienced one? Being a new drill instructor, great question, Sapien. Let me tell you, being a new drill instructor, I knew in boot camp that I wanted to be a drill instructor as a recruit. So my next 6 years, it took me 6 years to finally get orders to DI school. And I think I told you before, as a corporal, I was applying. They kept telling me, no, you're a corporal. They do take corporals, and I think they still do, but you have to have a cutting score that by the time you graduate DI school, you'll get promoted to sergeant. That's the caveat to it. So you can go to DI school as a corporal, but that has to happen. In fact, one of my drill instructors as a recruit, so you can't be a corporal drill instructor on DI duty, but again, go through school and then you'll be up to him. So anyway, so going through DI school is very tough. I did talk about it last time a little bit. The teach backs, I think, was the hardest. PT, I was in shape. I was a young sergeant, motivated, ready to go. Excuse me. Tests weren't hard. Just had to study. I in many study groups. We spent a lot of time, but the teach backs was the hardest. So being a new drill instructor, inexperienced, you're still kind of testing the waters. And you don't want to get in trouble, get fired your first cycle. So you don't know how far you can push it. But once you put that cover on and you got that duty belt, you absolutely do think you're God or right next to him. Because the recruits will do anything and everything you say. So it's an ego trip that you have to get over. And it happened to me. I've watched my fellow Greenbelt drill instructors. I try to not only do what they were doing, but I try to outdo them. That's where drill instructors get in trouble. They push it. One drill instructor takes it just a little further than the next one to be cool. His ego, he's all that. And I did get in trouble in my first cycle. And it was up north, Weapons Field Training Battalion, and we were rocking the cradle. If those of you, if you know, you know. Weapons Field Training Battalion, there's a spot out there, and I hope it's still out there, where you're going out for the helo evac and all the training. They got the mock-up Amtrak and the helo. I don't know if it's still there or not. But to get out there, you're hiking out there and you go through this big dip. And it's pretty big. You go down pretty far a big valley, and you go up the other side. And you're winded when you get to the other side. They call it the cradle, right? Hey, all right, we're going out to the cradle. We're going to do the helo ops, whatever. So that night, being a new drill instructor, green belt, I wanted to show them how tough I was. Just being a Marine wasn't enough, right? Being a drill instructor wasn't enough in my eyes. Had to just prove it to them. Idiot. So I woke them up after lights out. The senior, all the drill instructors were gone. The officers were gone. And before my senior left, he said, kill him tonight. I was like, all right, senior drill instructor. Got it. So as soon as they all left, woke them all up, got their rifles, and we started rocking the cradle. That's it, we're going to the cradle. One time. I felt good. I was a little nervous. I didn't know if they'd follow me. It was dark out. We couldn't see anything. Did another one back, and I just had this adrenaline from I don't know where, like that mother with the car crash, and they lift the car up. I had something like that going because I did the cradle again. I turned around, I was yelling, get up there, get up there. Another one, boom, another one, another one, another one. Just kept going. It couldn't be stopped. I'm telling you, I had this energy. And every time I got to the bottom, there's a recruit down there, oh, my ankle, oh, my ankle, oh, my ankle. Faking it. He didn't want to rock the cradle. So I did that a few more times. I don't even know how many, 10, 12, 14 times. He was really injured. Oops. So the next morning we get up, he's limping to Chow, company commander. Hey, young man, what happened to your leg? Dying me out completely. Completely dying me out. Sir, last night when the recruits were rocking the cradle with drill instructor Sergeant Cece, this recruit injured himself and the drill instructor didn't care. Of course I cared, but I thought he was faking it. So that was my first time getting in trouble, yes, with Sergeant Newton. And I learned, and here's what changed me as a Marine that morning when he sent me home. He said, give me your belt and cover, go home. We're trying to make Marines, and you're trying to break recruits. I was like, wow. He said, what training value did that have? Well, sir, they were undisciplined. No, they're all undisciplined. Well, they needed extra training. No, they just needed good training. So I learned my lesson. It was bad. It was ignorant. There was no need for it, no call for it. So that was a great learning lesson for me. We're trying to make Marines, not break recruits. So that was as a new drill instructor. As an old seasoned drill instructor, again, you want to make sure everyone graduates. They learn the basic skills. You can send them off into the Marine Corps confident that they are basically trained Marines. Different mindset. As a green belt, you're trying to thrash them, trying to break them, trying to drop them. Testing them, but you're still training them. As a senior, you want to do anything and you learn tricks throughout the trade, just like any other job, any other MOS. You figure it out. The best way, you can't train them all the same way, just like in the fleet, just like in your business, in the civilian sector. You be a consistent leader, but you do have different work relationships with different individuals. Some respond to, and some don't. So, and you still want a successful organization, so you got to change up your leadership just a little bit. So, excuse me. So learning lesson, I absolutely loved the drill field. I did want to go back eventually. I wanted to be a recruit. A couple of things I wanted to do, but my career, deployments, combat, everything happens for a reason. Matthew Ashgren, URAH, good to see you, brother. Jake says, recruiters, can I join having depression in the past? Good. Any recruiters out there, please, we're trying to get Jake in. We're trying to get Jake, see what he can do to get in. CJ Johnson says, how old are you, sir, ma'am? Got to be careful with the pronouns. I'm he. My pronoun is Marine. 37, want to join the Canadian Army Reserve. Do you have any experience with older recruits or reserve duty? A tiny bit of both of them, history tube. We've been talking about age, joining the maximum. I don't know anything about the Canadian Army. You can Google it, I'm pretty sure. But the U.S. military, most of the ages are 17 to 28, 29, 30, I think all the way up to 36, like for the Air Force or something. But Marines are 17 to 28. We just talked about, I think about a week ago, we talked about a Marine 34, 36. Took him 17 years to join after he graduated high school, I'm guessing. Got a waiver and got in. So don't let your age stop you. There's a waiver. for almost everything. There's a waiver for everything, but they don't always get approved. We cleared that up last time as well. But I got to think the Canadian Army has the same thing. If you can pass everything you need to pass, why would they not let you in? So go for it. 420 just disappeared, brother. Matthew Askren says, we just lost Chief Warrant Officer 5 Bill Beath, retired the other day. Hope he's resting in power, brother. Never like losing Marines. From what, Matthew? Canadian Army age limit is 60 to join. Wow. Holy cow. That's awesome. Is there a physical fitness test? I hope there's got to be, and there's got to be certain jobs that you can do at 60. Van Diesel. I tried to join the Marines, but they said I was too strong. Haven't heard that before. I like this. I almost did a short on it. Yeah, I was going to join the Marines, but I stopped listening after that. And then on the other side, how many times have you heard a Marine say, yeah, I was going to join the Air Force, but I was going to join the Navy, but people say it all the time. Van Diesel, I was going to join the Marines, but I didn't want to take orders. I was too tough. Why didn't you really join, Van? What's that motto behind you says? In God we trust. Amen. Undisclosed, but he was only 52. Wow. Young. Oh my gosh. Again, bless his family. Hope they're all doing well. Prayers up to all of them. Too young, too early in life. Man, rest in power, brother. Hip waders not included. I missed the first part of yours, Bob. Hip waders not included. How hard was the shot from the recent sniper incident? Just wondering. Was that a sniper? You talking about that kid with issues climbing the building in front of God and everybody? He was on the ETT with me. He spent a lot of time with the grunts. Great Marine. Was he a gunner, Matthew? What was his MOS? Not hard day 7 stuff. Man, so with all that, something came to mind with talking about again the shot and this one. This is what I almost put on my. That's what I almost put on my new mug. I want to put that one instead, but I want to save this one. I'm gonna save it, and it's the only one I have. I got to order a new one. From where? SFMF-merch.myshopify.com. Oh, he's Perso. Man, gunner. Chief Warrant Officer 5. Quite an accomplishment to get to Chief Warrant Officer 5. As you know, I didn't. Anybody remember the short I did on what's the relationship between a sergeant major and a chief warrant officer? I said, there is no relationship. Not true. It's probably one of the best ones. Because you have the same mission in mind, and the chief warrant officer, the warrant officer is senior to the sergeant major, yes, just like a lieutenant is. But come on, we know better than that. It's a working relationship. So always got along with all the gunners, awesome Marines. So you have the same mission, right? Taking care of Marines, taking care of the mission. Same with Master Gun and Sergeant Major. That post, that was one of my first shorts, and that blew up, because I think that's a huge question that a lot of people have, a lot of non-Marines have, even young Marines. As a young Marine, I didn't know how they decided the path. So that short really went off. And there's that rivalry there between a sergeant major and a master gunnery sergeant. That was also one of the first shorts that everyone was bagging on me for saying SARM major, master gunnery SARM. Again, it's a time saver. But the E9s was a big is still, for those of you that don't know, but if you step back and look, it's very similar to all the services. All the branches of service have it. We just call it something different. So there's two E9s, two sergeants major in Army units. One is the command sergeant major, and the other one is a sergeant major, the technical expert of that field. He's still in the weeds with the Marines, with the soldiers. The command sergeant major is in charge of morale, welfare, discipline. He's the senior enlisted advisor to the commander. Same exact setup, except that the Marines, we call one a sergeant major, one a master gunnery sergeant. No different. The Navy does it. The command master chief, senior enlisted advisor to the commander, and a master chief. And there's a few of them. Same in the Marine Corps. One sergeant major, but there's many master gunnery sergeants, or a few, depending on what kind of unit you're in. I got to believe the Air Force does it the same. Air Force is what, chief master sergeant. I don't know, any airmen out there? What, is there more than one E9 in an Air Force unit? A chief master sergeant, I believe that's what he's called. Is there one that's just the senior enlisted advisor to the commander? And one that's MOS specific? I got to believe there is, because it is a beautiful system. It works. 248 years, it's been working. That's my push for it to be in the civilian community also. Just don't call it senior enlisted advisor to the commander. Just that commander should have a good advisor. That's everything. The commander has so much to worry about. He's overall in charge of everything. He needs a good advisor, period. If your business is not getting 1% better every day, it might be your advisor. It might be you. You got to take a look. You got to detach for a minute, step back and look. Or when you get new personnel, fresh blood, fresh eyes into a unit, and they have some ideas, listen to them. Might just be what your organization needs. Something fresh. Sometimes you just got to shake it up. Not change just to change, but change to get better. 1% better every day. What's up, Joe Warren? I think everyone's doing well. How is everyone doing? And what are you drinking? Haven't even asked that yet. I keep drinking both. You know, I got some coffee in my new mug. And I got some water to hydrate. So how is everyone tonight? It is Wednesday night. We are on, I said Wednesday night? Yeah, SFMF Live Wednesday night. We got Joe Warren. We got Jake here. Carl, almost everyone's here. It is a little hot and stuffy in here. I got my door open so Mattis doesn't. Well, he's chilling right now. He's chilling. He wants to be. So I took him for a walk earlier, wore his butt out, and just kept. He tried to lay down a couple times. Hello, PT. He needs PT every day too. Getting kind of chubby since I've been in charge of him for a little while. Everyone's gonna get back, and we're both gonna be fatter. But I have been PTing him, just not as much as he needs. The highest rank I ever seen in food service was an E8. I wonder why. Bob, I wonder. I can't think of, I've seen plenty of master sergeants in the food industry. I can't recall any master guns right off hand. You know there are. There's got to be. Jake trying to survive. Rig, rentals, lurking, keep learning, lurking, rig, like and subscribe, brother. Old Jyrene, I had a chance to visit the Marine Corps War Memorial and Arlington Cemetery. Watch the Silent Drill Team. That is an amazing show. The Silent Drill Team, that whole area is just, gives me chicken skin thinking about it. And I haven't been to Washington, D.C. enough. I avoided getting stationed in Quantico. I didn't want that whole area. Didn't want to be stationed there, but I spent enough time there, did a couple marathons there. The first sergeant's course, it was in Quantico, so I got to spend a couple weeks there. Here's how blessed I was after the first sergeant's course. Kind of my first time being there for more than a conference or a class or something, so 2 weeks. Excuse me. Leaving, conference was over, 2 weeks, I was leaving, and my flight wasn't like until 2000 at night. But I had to get out of the room, and I didn't know what to do. Didn't have a car, so I called for a cab, and I was gonna wait at the airport. Sit there for like 6-8 hours. I don't even remember how long. It's gonna be miserable, but who knows? So the guy that picked me up, we were talking. You a Marine? Yes, sir. He said I was a Marine. I'm a historian now, just talking story on the way to the airport. He said, look over there, that's President so-and-so's house. I was like, wow, really? I said, you really are a historian. He said, I've been doing it ever since I got out of the Marine Corps. I'm fascinated with military history. He said, I can show you where President Roosevelt's house, I don't remember all. He said, have you seen all the monuments? I said, I haven't. It's only my second time here. You know, I haven't. He turned the meter off and said, we're going on a tour. I was like, no, I can't afford all that. You know, I'm on the government credit card. I can't be spending $800 on a cab ride. He said, it's on me. Turned it off, and we toured everything in Quantico, every monument. And he's a cab driver, so he can kind of park wherever he wants and stop wherever he wants. And it was the most amazing tour I've ever had in my life. Just made me want to continue to go back there and learn more about all of it. So I don't remember what the comment was, but if you can get to that area, if you haven't been there yet, station there, I heard nothing but not bad stories about it, but it's Quantico, it's DC, it's tons of traffic, but we got to have Marines there. I just never wanted to be there stuck in an office somewhere. Excuse me, or in traffic. But it is, look right there, Mike Smith. I spent my last 2 years in Quantico. Command Legal at Lejeune Hall. How'd you like it, Mike? Semper Fi, Menachem. Thank you, brother. Like and subscribe. All of you. I always forget to talk about it. Gary M., thank you, brother. Thanks for being a loyal and a Patreon loyal fan. From Canadian Army Recruitment, there is physical fitness evaluation and preparation. I got to believe it. Got to. No doubt. So you must have some tough 60-year-olds over there. That's awesome. If you can still do it, you can still do it. Rig, I'm telling you, it was epic. Couldn't thank that dude enough. Tried to give him a tip. He wouldn't take it. Nothing. He charged me from Q-Town to the airport, because obviously I had to log that in. 420 can be Googled. Like and subscribe. The 420 Network. Bob. What happened to Robert E. Lee House? Man, I don't remember. Did you spend any time in home? Oh, Horno. Camp Horno, yes. I was 2-5, so I spent some time in that whole San Mateo area, hiking all those hills in Horno. Loved it. Loved the creek bed. Loved hiking through there. Through those. I loved going up First Arn Hill, right behind 2-5. That was a butt kicker. Spent a lot of time out in Horno. Menachem, 80s, brother. I'm an 80s guy. Mike Smith, second best dude I had, just behind Fatima. Yeah, I love Fatima. All Okinawa. Any base in Okinawa, I would love to go back to. 420, July 26, 1975. Youngin', still a young buck, Bob. Salty Saxy, good to see you, brother. I'm always headed to the gym when you go live. Got to change my gym schedule. Yes, you do, but don't stop it. Keep going to the gym. John McJunkin, good to see you, brother. Sometimes you just never know who you might change your life. Doc Holiday, come on, brother. Semper Fi, my friend. That is a super chat from Doc. Semper Fi, Marine. Love you, brother. Awesome. Thank you very much. Doc Holiday, you're the man. Old Jyrene. I work in the area a lot. Been to the National Museum, Marine Corps several times. Of course, the Globe and Laurel. Met Major Spooner. Every Marine needs to visit the museum. It is humbling. So that's also I've been there twice to the museum, but that was the first time it had just opened up, the museum, when we were in the first Sergeant's course, and that was a trip that we did take to the museum. So I know they've added a whole bunch since then, but that museum is amazing. It truly is amazing. I like all museums. I don't care, military museums. I love them all. And I look at the stuff they got there, and you can see how they're worn out, the whole holsters and the weapons, and you just look at that stuff and I imagine that Marine or whoever it was, that soldier in the 40s and 50s or whatever time era that it was, and thinking how hardcore were they, man, and just the change in gear and equipment that we have now. And awesome that it gets better and better. You know what I mean? It's especially cold weather gear, how much better it is now. But they didn't have that. And we do now, and it's, a different fight. I get it. But I love looking at that gear, man. I get lost in just looking at, where they had a cool museum is, man, I'm going to forget the name now. One of the small islands, leaving Okinawa when I was at the air station. We used to stop at a little island and refuel all the time. I had it come to me in a minute, but they had a small Air Force museum there because it was an airstrip. Love this community. And we love you, Doc. Proud to be part of the Marine family, past, present, and future. That is what's so great about this community. Yes, Doc, thanks for saying it out loud. Again, we try to, we keep it. This is for our niche is pre-Marine Corps, active duty Marine Corps, and post-Marine Corps, and other services. I love that we get some the civilians on there, and they say straight up, I'm not a Marine, but I love this. I'm not a Marine, but I didn't serve, but I support you guys and love what you do. Those are awesome as well. Love it. Wake Island, that's where I was, Bob. Wake, went to Wake several times. Every time, thank you. And every time we would go there, we'd have to stop to refuel. We'd always bring them stuff. Whatever they need at the time. Spam, water, ice blocks. One time I remember it, generators. And the plane's small, so we'd have to load it up as much as we could. And we configure the plane so we only needed like 4 or 6 seats. So we'd take all the seats out, load it up, and just, they're out there on their own, alone and unafraid. Our Wake Island. Been there many times. Cure. I'm an E9 Master Gunner Sergeant. Let's hear from you, Master Guns. Where are you? Where are you stationed? Give us some input. Thanks for joining us, Cure, Master Guns. Thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe and tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome to the community. I haven't said, my dad is an E9 Sergeant Major in MARSOC. Second, those are some acronyms I don't know. He's a battalion commanding officer. Well, if he's a sergeant major, he's the battalion sergeant major. ERA. Good on him. The screw was a little late today. That's all right, Doc. We'll let you. It's okay. You can be a little late. I was right on time today. Like on the dot. I was waiting for it. I'm 2 Medals of Honor recipient. Carlos Regoza. I'm 2 Medals of Honor recipient. Makes you wonder. Yes, Ivan, I got you back, buddy. He's the battalion sergeant major. Years of age, 2 Medals of Honor, recipient Marine since 2022. Again, Carlos, give us more details. Old Gyrene, don't know what a super chat is, just wanted to support SFMF. Simplify, Old Gyrene. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, brother. Awesome. Again, supporting the community. This is, we are here for each other, right? We're thankfully not money driven, but we want to, it's funny. I'm going to switch gears on you real quick. I talked to an old friend of mine who was, talking about an organization that she wanted to create, or that would be great for she was describing exactly what we want to do, what I've been talking about we've been planning it for years, my wife and I, but what we've been kind of introducing to what we want to do in our mission, and that is to help everyone transition from the military to the civilian sector. It's not easy. It was a pain in the butt, especially as a Marine. You think you know it all. I don't need any help. I got this figured out. But no, what I had figured out was the last 30 years of PCS, and where everything's directed to you, right? You have all your new friends, housing, chow hall, mission, unit, everything's set. Kids, school, kids have friends, everything's doing that PCS from duty station to duty station to duty station. until that last duty station, first civ div, where none of that is provided. You have to figure it out. Medical, dental. All of a sudden, you're on your own. And it's pretty dang, what's the right word for it? Unnerving, right? And it doesn't happen right away. We ended up learning the very hard way. Not the very hard way. I'm sure people, obviously people have had it worse, but we learned the hard way, and we don't want anyone else to go through the things that we went through. It's unnecessary. So that community, this community that we're trying to build, and again, eventually have a brick and mortar somewhere, a ranch house, probably some great state like Texas, where everyone is a patriot, and make a place where veterans can come to get to put more time into that transition, right? You're wearing your uniform 4 years or 30, 40, whatever, however long, and then you take your boots off for the last time one night, the next day you're out. So there's a whole lot to it, and there's briefs, and there's tons of people that want to help. So many people want to help, but they're a bunch of small little organizations. Somehow, some way, we need to get everyone together and figure it out, a place that they can go. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I joined from North Dakota. I don't want to go back there, but I've been truck driving in the Marine Corps 8 years. I want to continue that. What do I need to do? So education, of course, all their VA benefits. We want to be able to help them set up their life. They're married, wife and kids. All of a sudden you're moving from base housing that has been provided for you, still paying for it. Now you got to find a place to live, somewhere safe for your kids. If you're going to be working, you're going to be going. Tons of things to think about and accomplish. Now you can't just go to base education because you're 3,000 miles away from a base. Who do you call? Medical, dental. All those things can start pouring on you, whether you're married or single. So that's where that 22 comes from. There's 22 veterans that take their lives every day. We don't want that to happen ever again. We want to help everyone. Come. He's getting restless. That's Mattis back there. All right. It's called Join the Reserve. That's money. That's a great idea, Master Guns. Don't get out. You got to eventually. So the more you can set yourself up, the better. Wean out of my 36 years. Yeah, go 2 weekends a month. There you go. Absolutely. And what a great way just to continue. The VA appointments are available. I'm going to have to go let them out. You guys with me? You hang tight for a second. Come here, Mattis. Last drive out from Camp Pendleton was pretty hard. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it was it. EAS. Oh, wait. And that's it. Remember the process to get in to the military? How many times you had to sign your name and the paperwork and the medical and dental over and over. It took weeks, months to get in the military, to get in the Marine Corps. You had to qualify, background check, all this stuff. To get out, one sheet of paper. This is my requested retirement date and place, and you're gone. One day, one piece of paper, signed by your seal. I'm gonna go let him out. Don't go anywhere. Go. All right, everyone. Thank you. Sorry. Told you I'm solo. All right. Excuse me. I'm a veteran from the UK. I need to ask a quick question. Ask it, Isaac. What do you got? Jay, can you ask a question? Ask away. Ask him. Isaac, ask. Just ask. Ask it. Chesty has 5 Navy Crosses. Not Medal of Honors, actually. Yes, Chesty has 5 Navy Crosses. 2 Marines have 2 Medals of Honor. Who are they? I don't think it's Carlos. I have 2 service dogs. All right, but I'm not sure that you have 2 Medal of Honors. Medals of Honor. Man, I just watched myself walk across the room. Dan Daly is one. Chuck O. Sergeant Major Kellogg he is not one. 2 Marines have 2 Medals of Honor. Isaac says, I'm doing a survey at the university on correlation between testosterone levels and androgenetic alopecia. Basically, it's an age-old question. How often? That's a great question. Not for this channel, though. Right? Somewhere else, maybe. We're talking about motivation, military, getting after it, service, and providing services to each other, continue to serve our veterans era. Isaac, you're in the wrong place. Smedley Butler, Clavo. Smedley Butler and Dan Daly. That's right. You say Smelly Butler? No, it's Smedley. Smedley Butler and Dan Daly. Yes, 2. Yeah. All right, Carl. I got you. 2. Smedley Butler. Old Gyrene. What do you think about the new 6mm caliber? Don't know anything about it. Tell you, I'm old school. I like my M4 and my 9mm. So much, that's what I got when I got it. I got a couple 45s as well. Nothing like running and listening to old school USMC cadence, the U. I'm telling you, that's what keeps me going. When I run, I don't like wearing headphones. I don't like holding my phone. I don't even like wearing glasses or a hat or a belt or water or the little tubes and stuff all over I like green on green and just go. I'm not carrying nothing. That's why I just call cadence to myself, right? And I breathe. I have asthma. I breathe people say you sound like a horse because I breathe so heavy. But I use my breathing as a rhythm to call cadence to myself. If it's a marathon, I would listen to music and wear glasses because that's 5 hours I'm going to be running. So I do get to, got to have some kind of entertainment, especially if there's not a lot of runners. Excuse me. So you admit to fraud. No, what are you talking about? You talking to someone else? My bad, autocorrect. Yeah, Isaac, not sure what Isaac talking about, everyone. Veterans feel a sense of betrayal? No, I don't. 6mm airsoft. Oh, come on, Jake. I don't do airsoft, paintball. It's kind of different when you've been in combat. Not a big fan of the pretend. You get a little ballsy when it's paintball or airsoft, when it won't kill you. Big O there, Brian. Good to see you, brother. How's things in Arizona? Triple digits today. Has it been nice? Someone said it's been nice somewhere. Where is that it's been nice? Hawaii, probably. Oh, I got you, Noah. Carlos said he has 2 social security numbers. That makes sense. Iraq war had no justification. That's what most British veterans tell me. What wars do have a lot of justification? Serving. If I can protect my country and my family, that's why I serve. Doc, there's something that stuck with me today, and it was Pride Month and a 1 full month. Memorial Day is 1 day. I'm telling you, Doc, come on, man. That's why we like to say Memorial Day and Veterans Day is every single day, every day, all day. To have anything for a month and not military month or Memorial Month, Veterans Month, come on. That's why we try to do it every single day, no matter what. Brian Olea says, in Arizona, nice 105, triple digits. Come on. We talked about it on Sunday. Would you rather have heat or cold? Most everybody agreed heat, but there is a limit. We can, we need to, like 80s. Come on, 80s is good. Icon Mason, Chicken breast or whey protein, which is better? Natural, all natural. Chicken and tuna. Chicken and tuna, get it naturally. If you don't eat right, take some protein. Whey protein's good. Eat right. M. Close says, what's up, Olea? It's Nale. Nail. Every day is an honor, Doc. You said it without a doubt. No attendance ribbon. Do you listen to music when you work out? If yes, so Manichin. Do I listen to music when I work out? Yes, I absolutely have to listen to music when I work out. I love music, all types of music. And I'm talking all types. Yes, even country. Maybe not foreign music that I don't know the language, but I listen to it because it is music. I love all types of music. I love live music. But when I work out, it has to be 80s rock. It does. It just absolutely has to be 80s rock. Metallica, AC/DC, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, all the old school, the good music, when music was still good. I even like rap. Don't get me wrong, just now they just talk about such stupid things and see who can, again, be the dirtiest and nastiest. It's ridiculous. Like, anyway, don't get me started on that. But I do listen to 80s rock. Love it. Absolutely. Grew up with it. I had older brothers and sisters. My sister listened to country. So I love it all. But yes, I absolutely need, I can't work out in silence. And even some gyms that play music is okay, but I like it loud also when I'm working out. So when I have it my way, I put on Metallica nice and loud, blast it. But I do also like to talk while I'm there too. I made a 13-hour long 80s playlist on Spotify. I can't get enough of it. Salty Saxy, I'm telling you. That's it. My kids made me one. It wasn't 13 hours, but they made me, and they like it too. They really, truly do like the 80s rock as well. Probably because they grew up with it because of me. Love it. Mike Yang, can you please give me a simple tip on rucking? The biggest challenge for me is shoulder soreness. 3 miles into it. Keep bothering me and slow me down. Any wisdom will help. Thank you so much. So rucking, never been a fan of ruck runs. I don't know if I understand the point of it. It's miserable. And you will have to do it in combat for short periods of time. So you got to be able to. But I also don't believe in practicing for being miserable, right? We got to sleep in the rain for 2 weeks in case it ever happens. What if it never happens and you did it just cause? I'm not a firm believer in that training for the worst case scenario. Now, it's also a mindset. If you had to ruck 10 miles in combat, could you? That's all part of your overall physical fitness. Rucking with the hiking with the ruck or running is going to hurt your shoulders, period. So if you want to build your shoulder, just like working out, you're going to get calluses on you. They're going to be sore. Your hands are going to be sore. They're going to be sore. After a while, you're going to get calluses. So if you want to build a ruck and not have shoulder pain, you're going to have to do a lot of rucking. And then you'll build those muscles and your neck will disappear and you have big something. But you just got to do it more. Same working out, and I got calluses on my hands that I can't even feel anymore. It doesn't hurt anymore, but that's years and years of doing it. So my advice, do it more. If you really want to get great at ruck runs, do more ruck runs. All right. Carl Green says, I found it more comfortable riding high on your shoulders. Here's what I will say, because I've done a lot of 26 miles. I think we did one in Okinawa from where to wherever, and that's how we would do it. The first like 8 or 10 miles, we'd wear it high up, and then the staff instructors came by and said, all right, loosen up, wear it low, because now you're working a little bit different muscles. Another 10 miles, put it back up. So you gotta just whatever works for you. You don't want to. I remember I had 2 raspberries on either side where it was rubbing for 8 to 10 miles, and then I moved it up. Didn't feel it anymore, but created other ones. So you just got to do it more. Chicken has arisen. Semper Fi, brother. Good to see you. Welcome. Headquarters, 9th Marines, 9th Crime Battalion. What's up, old Gyrene? endurance and be able to lift your own weight. You will never be comfortable running or hiking with a pack. I'm telling you, it's always going to be uncomfortable. You can do it for a little while, and I see people do it all the time and do a ruck run. I don't think that makes you any harder. You're going to be sore, right? Endurance and be able to lift your own weight. Remember, I used to tell all the young guys, if you can't lift your own body weight over a wall and that building is burning on the inside, you're going to die. So at least be able to do that. In my opinion, cave diver, Alice is the best pack issued. I concur 100%. I loved the Alice pack with or without the frame, cave diver. And here's my answer. Both, with or without, depending on how big your load was, how much weight you had in it. But I think that was the best pack. I loved how it was big and open, the big flap on top, had the big 3 pockets on the outside. That's it. We don't need 1,000 zippers all over, and Molly is putting all kinds of other crap on it, and the long skinny ones and the zipper at the bottom. Alice pack, by far the best. Loved it. Oh, ninth com, Pendleton. What's in Okinawa? 7th com. 7th crime? I'm getting mixed up. See, getting old. You can you can learn how to be in unique pain. Yep. Jake, you weigh 200 pounds? You don't really know? You gotta know how much you weigh. But it is how much pain you can endure. Right? If you're on a ruck march, you don't want to keep anyone back. You don't want to hold anybody back. So it is 9th com in Okinawa. Was 3rd Mardiv out of Oki when I was in. Me too. Was disbanded, and understand 2-9 was reactivated and attached to 2nd Mardiv. Wow. There has been a lot of changes, and if you don't stay up with it, some stuff happens. The only reason I knew about 3rd Marines in Hawaii, because that's where I finished up. And I still know a lot of people from there that they went to the 3rd Littoral Regiment, right? They disbanded the 3 battalions, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 3, and 3, 3. Now it's 3rd Littoral Regiment. Interesting. Makes you wonder, again, who's in that think tank when they make decisions like that? That's always my first question, because I've seen some decisions being made in the civilian community recently that you're like, who in the heck was sitting on this decision board when they made this decision? Anyone that it's going to affect directly, you hear me say that all the time, that's becoming such a bad pet peeve of mine. Before you make a decision, talk to the people who it's going to affect directly, right? This is what we're thinking about doing. You're going to be implementing it every single day. What do you think? Well, no, sir, that will never work, and here's why. When we do it like that, it drives me crazy. Get input from everybody. You don't have all the ideas, nor does any one person. But everybody collectively has good ideas, and especially the ones implementing the policies. They're the ones, doing it. CJ Johnson says, best strategy for ruck march, long stride, short but quick strides. Come on, that's like 50-50, CJ. Which one is it? Long strides or shorter but quick strides? So running with someone like Big O, who is 8 feet tall, and I'm 6 feet tall, our strides are a little bit different. And we ran a marathon together. Well, he ran a marathon, and I was trailing behind. And our wife said that we look like the giraffe and a rhino. Trudging down the road, and there wasn't a lot of people there, so all eyes were on us. Actually, there wasn't a lot of people watching either. So stride is crazy you say that, because that was us. He had the long stride, I had the short ones. CJ, stride is whatever works best for you. Just have to try different length strides, says Salty Sexy. I'm telling you, while you're going, at once when I wanted to catch up to Brian, that's what I would do, just long strides, just like close my eyes and hope I was catching up to him. And then once I cut up, I'd do my little ones. Oh, geez, want to know how much I weigh now? 240 pounds of raw steel, and a little chubby. Best advice for rucks, join a different branch. says Jared. I don't think they do much ruck marches in the Air Force, Space Force. Good tip, Jared. Good tip. Anderson, oh, good evening, brother. Here for the inspiration and motivation. Well, it's here now that you're here, Anderson. Good to see you, brother. Yes. Big O, that was us running a marathon. Again, I use that term running very lightly. I even tried the old, I got to take off my sweats trick because it was freezing. It was like 49 degrees when we started. And he's like, hurry up. I was doing the old untied shoe trick where you're resting. I untied it and then like took my time to retie it. I was hurting on that one. I think it was the weather. It was because I was so cold. 246 here. Oh, gee. Dang. All right, that's it. Oh, you're 15 over. I gotta hit the gym then. And get that 6 pounds on you. I'm just gonna eat a couple pizzas tonight. Needs paying for ruck runs. In garrison unit, did it all the time. How many times in the East? Patika? Never. Pakilta? Train like you gotta fight. Train like you fight is BS. So here's what I think. Practice like you play, right? We're talking sports, but I think there's some truth to that. Practice like you play. I never understood in football. I grew up playing football and going 50%. Never liked that because my 50% and your 50% may be different. So it's either, to me, it's either shorts and helmets or full pads. Because you go full pads and 50% or 75%. Again, our percentages are different. And I never wanted to get smacked because I was going 50 and he was going 75. So I believe in practice like you play. So if you're going to gear up, we're playing. I believe the same is with combat. If your mission is to ruck 3 or 6 clicks, you better ruck up and ruck 3 to 6 clicks. Right? That's Big O about that. He did a short little marathon in combat with all their gear after being on the road all afternoon in the heat. So it's going to happen, but you need to practice like you play. No half-assing it. No rough. Doc Holiday, all stickers are awesome. They're on my truck representing. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you, brother. Is it time to show the stickers? I think I've been forgetting. This is the favorite. The Little Reaper. You can see what it says. I held it up there and up. Destroy them all. Let God sort them out. The ma'am, I think when I showed this earlier, someone said, what does that mean? You know, the circle with the red line means no ma'ams, no military age male. Why do we have hundreds of thousands rolling into our country? There's a good old C-130 tape. This is a cassette tape. For those of you young bucks out there that don't recognize what this is a design of. All right, some of you guys, old Gyrene, you might remember the 8-track. Look at this one. I like this one, the colors, right? Thick. These are all good stickers too, good quality outdoor stickers. This one, look at that guy. The lanyard, these are going out for a while. Made by Marine, Sergeant Cece. American products, the dummy cord, the 550 cord, the paracord, whatever you call it, it is made in America. The ring, solid steel, M242 solid steel. I just made that up. I don't know what it's made out of, but it is a good solid ring, but it is made in America. All products, American made by an American veteran. Get them while they're hot. SFMF-merch.myshopify.com. Still no shirts. Yeah, I apologize. Teasing you every time I wear one. Again, we're still traveling. The team is still working, right? Gary Morton, still not able to order from Canada. And trust me, she's working on it, Gary. We appreciate you, brother. Patrons, thank you. we are working on it. We're doing our very, very best to get some merch out to you. Once the dust settles, you're going to be first on our list. We got you, brother. Alpha Lundeen. How do I convince my wife to let me join the Marines instead of the Navy? Well, friends don't let friends join other services besides the Marine. Put her on this channel, Alpha. Get her on here. Let her listen to this community. Let her see what kind of brotherhood and sisterhood we have on here, the camaraderie that is just unbeatable. Why does she not want you to be a Marine? That's the first question you have to ask her. And then ask her if she's seen the blue dress uniform, 8th and I, and ask her if she's seen the Navy uniform. So, you know what I mean? Use that. Get her on here, Alpha. Let her ask us some questions. So the Marines are part. Yeah, the Marines are. We're part of the Navy. There you go. Good one, Noah. We are a department of the Navy. The men's department. Just so we're the dress blues. Right? Nice one, Noah. For that position of attention and explain why it's important to you both. Choco, I like it. The better part. Knowing Doc made the greatest points. There it is. You can look at Ford's Wall. Come to see it helps with foreign destinations. Fourthwall.com. Will do. Carl, appreciate that, brother. Marine Corps does suck sometimes, yes, but have you seen the dress blues? 100%. Men's department, chicken. Department of the Navy. Keyword is the key word. We're a department of the Navy. I was Army, joined at 30. All right, get some cave diver. Cave diver, you tell Alpha's wife why he should join the Marines and not Navy, right? From an Army guy. Let's hear it. Want to join the Marines? They're too old. At 30, man, cave diver, we talked about that guy, 34 years old, enlisted. Navy is our transportation. Navy is our Uber. They take us somewhere to fight. I like all them Navy boys. They take us to the fight. Transport. Yes, PPCLI. I don't remember. I know that's the Canadian infantry, and Marines are the best, is the only reason. Never too old, says Doc. If you join the Navy, you can always be greenside. True, says Becca. You can, and you're going to go back and forth. And every Navy corpsman, not every, there's someone that wanted to get back to the blue side, but when Navy corpsmen came to us, got FMF regulations, right? The uniform haircut, the nice badge that they get on the uniform. They never wanted to go back to the blue side. They have to though. I think you gotta go back and forth. And then our chaplains are Navy. So you can be Navy and go green side. You have to be a corpsman or a chaplain. You can spend a lot of time with the Marines. Alpha says she's not home, but yeah, I will. 28, turning 29, so I have to sign the old man waiver. Absolutely, go for it. Alpha, go for it. No regrets. Navy has nurses. Big dogs. So I would join the Marines, but I'm already too hard, disciplined, strong, and fast. All right. This is a good one. I like those. Come on, big dog. What do you do if you're not a Marine? I like that one meme. You saw that. It was a cartoon one. The guy said, I was going to join the Marines, but like taking orders from anybody. Hi, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order? RPs too, Anderson, yes. And it's not religious people. What does RP stand for? No, but that's the chaplain's assistant. They protect the chaplain. Enlisted sailor, right? They do carry a weapon. They protect the chaplain because the chaplain does not carry a weapon. Becca says, I was a greenside RP and didn't want to go back. What does RP stand for, Becca? I don't remember. I said religious person one time and somebody corrected me. Remember, hip waders are not included with the deal. No hip waders. Is that the blue jeans with the back pockets on the front and the bell bottoms? They don't have those anymore. Religious program assistant. Appreciate it. Big dog, the course for you. I'm telling you, Chicken said it right there. Come on, big dog. Let's go. Religious Program Specialist. Thank you both. RP. Had some good RPs throughout some of my deployments. I remember we had an RP that he carried an M4 and a 9.0 because he was hard like that. Always wanted to go on patrol. Excuse me, if the chaplain wasn't going out, he would always ask to go on patrol. He had a favorite squad that he liked to patrol with. They liked him. He was good. I probably shouldn't have let him go as many times as I did, but he was ready to get some. Wild Willie Nelson, will you share your head on life someday? Chuck Norris was going to join the Marines, but they were out of PT. They were out at PT, and Chuck Norris doesn't wait for no one. Good one. Chuck Norris can unscramble eggs. Try that. Cave diver. My last one was blocked, sorry. What was? Your last comment? Send it. Cave diver. Princess Patricia, Canadian Light Infantry. Yes, sir. Thank you, Gary. And my wife actually looked it up. We looked at all that stuff. Pretty amazing, the history behind it. Are they as fanatical, you guys fanatical about your history as the Marines are? And it certainly seems like it. Same unit philosophy as Marines. Loved reading about it. The units are small. I didn't realize they were that small, like the Marines. You're right, absolutely right. Princess Patricia, Canadian Light Infantry. Pretty awesome. We did. We both looked it up. Chuck Norris was on the Air Force, was an Air Force vet, but Steve McQueen served as a Marine. Imagine that, Steve McQueen, best driver in the world. I drive like Steve McQueen. It's an inside joke. My family knows. I don't know why I think he's a good driver. It's probably the only movie I've seen from Steve McQueen that he was driving something, and one day I said, drive like Steve McQueen. I was backing up, boom, I hit the wall. So I don't drive like Steve McQueen. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. Yes. Thomas Wagonar. Semper Fi, brother. Semper Fi to you. Rock Marines are hard, says Clavo. Yes. The Republic of Korea Marines are insane. Hard as nails. Guts. I was going to say the other word. They got some guts. We did a rock climbing package with these guys, and they climb 200 feet with no rope. They're always the first climber. They put in pro, so us, and they're crazy and hard. You're right. Eating snakes, and I just love training with them. Anderson Ho, as was Lee Marvin. Visited with him today. Badass Marine and actor. Salty Sacks, you gotta go. Jim's calling my name. Leg day. Never skip leg day. Get after it, Salty. Get some. Never skip leg day. If you have to skip any day, you skip any other day except legs. Do legs once a week, no matter what. Every 5 days, actually. Not a full week. Great Escape is probably the movie you're referring to. Rock Marines are gangsta. Them dudes don't smile. They don't smile either. They're more disciplined than anyone I've ever worked with. They can joke and have a good time though. you gotta catch them when their bosses aren't around. Discipline, ultimate discipline. Yep, seen that one. Same thing with me and the Rock Marines. Aussie style rappelling, scary as hell. Done that a few times. We're doing Aussie style rappel with the Rock Marines, and they were doing it from a rope bridge. So a rope bridge across, I don't know how many hundreds of feet it was. And this rope bridge alone, it was a 3-strand rope bridge, so you're walking on one and holding 2 on the other. Crazy just to cross it. And the wind was blowing you. These guys tied off and did Aussie rappel off the rope bridge, a couple hundred feet. So yes, they're crazy as hell. We were doing Aussie style one time in training. Of course, we had no supervision, so you know where this is going. A bunch of sergeants out there. Pulled up a 7-ton we used as our anchor. This is White Beach in California. We're off one of the cliffs, right down to the ocean. Pulled up the 7-ton sideways, tied off a couple spots, threw some ropes down. We're rappelling, climbing back up, rappelling. Of course, we decided to Australian style. We did have gloves, but of course, no helmet, no PPE, because again, unsupervised. And we were boots and utes. Yeah, one of my partners, big black dude, dark green Marine, big muscle head. He was going down Australian style. I was a little nervous, so he was milking it, right, going real slow. He started to get caught up. The rope was underneath his arm. Kept going slower, like, no, you got to push it away, get the rope away from me, get the rope away. Seat was a little loose. We were using Swiss seats that we tied, and we had gone so many times. The rope at one point caught the skin on the back of his arm in between the carabiner, his arm, and the rope. And it just, and he was a big guy, so all his weight was resting on the meat on his tricep of his arm. Oh my God, it looked so painful. Of course, we had to throw a couple more ropes down. We rappelled next to him, and first one guy did, we tried to lift him up to get the pressure off, and he was a big guy, so then we had another. And the whole time, he's hanging on by the meat of the back of his arm. Unreal pain. And it was turning, again, dark green Marine, but you could see the purple started to drip blood out, and it was just, oh man. Finally got enough weight off of him so he can finish Australian style rappel down. This time he held the rope out far enough to where he didn't have to have that happen again. Interesting, but yes, Australian style rappel. I know we don't do it anymore. We don't teach it anymore. From my understanding, it was the concept of, so you were facing forward and, one hand, so you still had your rifle hand free in case you had to kill people while you're going down the mountain. I think we found better ways to do that. A lot quicker if you just rappel down, you got security. Good stuff, good training. So, interesting question. Do you think amputees should be allowed to do karate, or do you think that's partial arts? If you're trying to be funny, that's not funny, but I think, yes, they can do all of it. But they do Paralympics. You can do all sports. So again, if you're trying to be funny, it's a little distasteful, but 100%. All kinds of Olympics, any sport, they're badass, right? There's amputees that go back into the service because they're hardcore, and it's a mindset, and they can pass the PFT. They can do whatever they want. We're Marines. We don't need a belay system. Yes, we do. So yes, we're hard, but we got to be smart too. A lot of time I spent in Bridgeport. The first climber, or what's it called when you over? Yeah, I'll think of it in a minute. When you go, you're the first climber, of course, there is no rope, there is no belay system. You're setting a pro. But as soon as you set that first protection, now you're all of a sudden belayed. Man, what's it called? Where it's just like a 50 or 100 feet where you go no rope at all. Again, that'll come to me in a minute as well. I got you, care diver, cave diver. Dark humor keeps me sane. Got some interesting people here tonight. Again, so we do have some interesting people. We bashed on we made fun of the trolls earlier. And as some are funny, right? And some troll just to be funny, get a laugh out of people, but some are just, they gotta have such a low, meaningless life that they go troll people and they want to get in arguments or trying to bother. And it's funny. It's funny to me. I always have a good comeback that I could. And in the beginning, I was like, man, why are these people so mean? Yes, of course I have a bald head. Yes, I say Sarn instead of Sergeant. But they're just trying to get at you, get in your skin. And luckily, all of our great community members usually wants to knock them out of the block, and they know this is not the place for that. But some are pretty funny. And I did learn from someone, my wife and I went to a convention, they're like, what this guy does with all of his trolls, no matter what it is, he replies with, you may be right about that. Because then they don't want to play. They're going to go find somebody else to get in an argument with, right? Gary says, there's no room here for that. This ain't what this is all about. So we let them come in, we ignore them, and they go away because they're not that bright. Looking for something you ain't going to find here. Trolls, Mountain Survival School and Coxswain's course. I never went to that, where my top training packages, But roundabout way, I was the boat company in 2.5, and I did some coxswain, learned on the fly OJT how to drive the Zodiacs. That was great. Love being the boat company in 5th Marines. Excuse me, that's when we went to Tonga. And Tonga, the kingdom of Tonga is 350 islands. Some are no bigger than this room I'm in, 20 by 20. It's a little island, just enough for about 15 palm trees and coconuts and rats. But that's one of their islands. And some you can walk to, like waist deep, chest deep. And some you got to swim to. It's a beautiful, beautiful kingdom of Tonga. But we trained there, and that was our transportation, Zodiac boats. Got off the back of a ship and just traveled and did little war games from island to island. It's pretty awesome. Tongan Marines were awesome. Great guys, they are Marines. Very primitive, the third world country, no paved roads, no stores, a couple cars, right? The king of Tonga was big, fat, spoiled guy. He's like 400 pounds, and he lived in a castle, and he had paved roads in his little courtyard. But the rest of the country is pretty poor, but good, solid people. I made some great friends with them. It was awesome. Great training. And we learned a lot from each other. I did do a short on it, I think, or a small video on it. We were doing night ops, and we had set our perimeter, and to find it, because it's black, pitch black, fighting hole to fighting hole, you got to know where they all are. These guys use the leaf that like glows at night. So they pulled a bunch off, and they would mark the trail from one fighting position to the next. So you knew when you were checking on your fighting positions, you knew exactly where they were. And it stayed alive for a while and didn't die right away. So a couple of days you could use that leaf. Problem was that we discussed with them is, yes, you can see it, but so can the enemy. So you got to be very, very careful with that. Maybe we taught them to maybe point in a different direction. From the direction of those leaves, you're 30 degrees to the right or left, or some kind of way to continue to use that. But interesting. It was really fun training with those guys. 2 years we went back. Michael says, earning the title 20 years ago and still paying off. Got CSMO for tonight. Catch you next week. CSMO. Clava, what is that? Sounds like you're a duty officer or something. Chicken has arisen. Chicken says, you ever go to Fort Hunter Liggett? No? Is that another, where is that? What is that? I think I've heard of it too. Fort Hunter Liggett. I haven't. And I believe I've heard of it. Where is it and what is it? West Coast, Pacific, where I did almost all my training. Luckily. And that was by being very aggressive. Those of you that are in now or that are thinking about going, we pretty much got every duty station that we asked for, but we're very aggressive with it. So whatever rank I was, like getting to Hawaii, there was a couple by chance. Getting to Hawaii as a sergeant major was the luck of the draw. The monitor called me last minute. I was in Afghanistan, and the monitors came out. I was selected for sergeant major. Said, all right, where do you want to go? Your first duty station as a sergeant major. I think I asked for Hawaii. We're in Pendleton at the time. He said, I don't think I can do that. I said, California. He said, all right, 29 pounds. I said, no. He said, you got to be careful when you ask for California because that's in California. So I was kind of on hold. And this was December. I think we did make it back for Christmas. And I got a call like a couple of days before Christmas, and my timeline might be off a little bit. But he's like, hey, I got your orders to Hawaii, but you got to leave in 2 weeks. So I think I was home for Christmas, and then I'd be there like by January 1st. So not a whole lot of planning. Of course, the wife, I left her again. She had to pack up everything herself, preparing for a PCS move while I was suffering in Hawaii, right, by myself, waiting for the family to come. And luckily, I was at the air station, which had the ghost I was telling you about that traveled all over. Anytime they left Hawaii, they had to go stop in California, refuel, luckily. So they'd stop at North Island, Camp Pendleton, Miramar. So those were all trips home for me. So it worked out perfectly. But back to getting every duty station we asked for, besides the combat deployments, disrupting the flow, very aggressive on it, it's a dream sheet. You know, we all know it is. I take it back. My very first duty station out of boot camp or out of engineer school, I asked for California because that's what young Marines do. They want to go back home. Thank God I didn't go back home, and the Marine Corps knew better and sent me to Okinawa. That was perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better first duty station. That was incredible. And glad, just made me realize that I wanted to go back later with my family. So be very careful. I highly recommend it. All new Marines, and help me out in here. Anyone else feel the same way? Don't go back home on your first duty station. If you're from the Lejeune area, the Pendleton area, where else is there big? Miramar, California. Go as far away from home as you possibly can. You'll have time. You'll get back there eventually. My daughter did the same thing. She was actually asking for Okinawa. She had been there as a little girl, wanted to go back, but she did get Lejeune. Oh, her first duty station. I don't know how great that was. But go far away from home. Tell me, those of you who've been there, done that, let me know what you think. Let us all know what you think. And West training was in Camp Johnson, North Carolina. Been to Camp Johnson, North Carolina. Courthouse Bay is where I did my training 3 different times. Let them talk in chat all they want. Carlos, you still here? When I was there, they segregated Navy and Marine Corps chow. Same chow, 2 different lines. Okinawa was my first duty out of boot. Looking back, about the best year of my life. I'm with you, old Jyrene. I'm telling you, I didn't want to. I wanted to be close to home. First time away from home, I wanted to get Camp Pendleton. And even still, Camp Pendleton was 8 hours from where I lived. So boy, wouldn't have been that close anyway. But going to Okinawa for my first duty station was a blessing. So glad it happened that way. Right, took several leaves in the Philippines and Thailand from Okinawa. And we had some, so we eventually did go back as a family. Excuse me, ended up staying there for 6 years. And again, another blessing. My kids grew up there. We lived out in town. We lived on base and out in town. Again, purposely wanted to live in the community. Okinawans are awesome, amazing people. Love the island. We never got island fever that people talk about. People that get island fever, I'm on an island, we can't go anywhere. You don't get out and do enough, right? We had a bunch of beaches that we loved. We'd go to town. We lived out in town. We experienced the local populace, and they're amazing people. 6 years. It was beautiful. Loved every bit of it. So much, again, wanted to go back. And funny, my family missed it so much. I get to 5th Marines after that. First thing we do is go on a mule, right back to Okinawa. So I was there. They were jealous. They were a little upset with me, but I loved it. Loved every bit of it. Wouldn't change it, and still want to go back. People grew up in Newport Beach. Joined to see the world, ended up stationed half an hour from home. You got to get away. No, W05, the unicorn. No, never got to meet one. CW05s, I even in my career, I knew probably a dozen. Pretty amazing, maybe less than that. But met some awesome Chief Warrant Officer 5s. Gunners, Marine gunners, and they pretty much, warrant officers in general, kind of got it made. Nobody messes with them. As long as they're good and they do their job. And then to get Chief Warrant Officer 5, yeah, you pretty much do whatever you want. Try to extend my tour on Okinawa, but paperwork snafu, put the kibosh on it. It wasn't easy, Mike, for us to get the IPCOT in place overseas consecutive tour. But again, very aggressive with it. Apply a duty station. So I did my first 3 years was at the SFMF Academy. That's how I got orders to Okinawa. I took the orders to the academy. And it was supposed to be California. And at the last minute, they said, hey, we actually have an opening in Okinawa at the academy. Would you like to go there? And knowing what I knew about Okinawa, my wife knowing what she knew, we were like, absolutely. So did 3 years at the SFMF Academy and then worked real hard to get to the engineers. I was a gunny by then. So I did a year as a company gunny in the engineers, right? 9th ESB. And then got promoted then back to California. But be aggressive with what you want to do. It's all a dream sheet. Captain Danger. I don't know if you remember me. I was in here a couple of weeks ago. It was before I took my medical. I have a very bad memory. Captain Danger. I think I would remember that name though. So where you took your medical for MEPS? What are you talking about, Captain Danger? What are you doing now? What's your plans? Yeah, Carl remembers you. Carl always got my back. Chicken Edge, to be honest, Mike, you want to extend because Kadena had the fantastic chow hall. Kadena did have a fantastic chow hall. Everything on Kadena. Remember for a while, well, when I was there, the Kadena NCO club was off limits for Marine NCOs. And come to find out, it was the Marine Corps who made it off limits, not the Air Force. How'd it go, Captain? Air Force, I got denied. Need to get eye surgery. Wow. All right, Captain Danger, what is wrong with your eyes? What kind of eye surgery do you need? And once you get the eye surgery, are they going to accept you? Is it because you want to be a pilot? Do you have to get, are you colorblind? What kind of eye surgery? It sucks, but it's flexible, which is great, I guess. Or fixable. Well, good. Stay after it. And again, is it because of the MOS you chose, Captain Danger? Because I bet another service would take you. Gary says, have to run, my internet connection has been causing problems. It's on my end. Simplify, Gary. Again, thanks, brother. Appreciate your support. We'll see you next time. It is Wednesday. Yep. So we'll see you Sunday, 1900 CST. Cave diver. I married a half Okinawan girl. Wife's dad married a local. Awesome. Hurrah. Right on, Captain. Proud of you, says Chicken. Yep. So we're going to investigate these chats. Carlos, still hanging out with us. So we're going to investigate these chat. Right, Gary. All right. Simplify, brother. All right, man. Always a good time. Madison's being cool in the background. Talked about the stickers. Gary and Ray from Queens, again, thank you both. What else have we not talked about? OG, yeah, I'm telling you, it's late for some of you. I know East Coast, it's already, 9:30, 10 o'clock for old guys like OG. Captain Danger says, I got astigmatism. Need to get laser surgery. Get it done, brother. It's genetic. Thanks, Grandpa. Man. Good luck, Captain Danger. Keep us posted, man. Go for it. We'll pray for you. The surgery goes well. Easy fix, says Carl. Go for it, brother. Don't give up on your dream. We got you. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? You can do it. You can do it. Found a new respect for bananas on Okinawa, or banana spider. How about that? Recruiting numbers are down, so it makes me happy to see young people that are patriotic and want to serve. Yes, all the branches. Hope everything goes well. Yeah, look at Cave Diver. Captain Danger. Captain Danger. It's getting late for me too. We got you, brother. Love this community. You guys are awesome. Come back and let us know. We got you. Small businesses. right? This is what this community is all about. I always keep my stuff right here. Talk about our friends. Arrow Resupply, coffee. Love the coffee. This one, I'm saving it for 2 reasons. Because it's beans, and I don't grind it myself, so everything else I order is already ground up. Mac belts. Can't get enough of this guy. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Love showing this off. I wear it, I take it off, and I put it right back over here on this desk so I can show it to you. Mac belt, another veteran-owned business. American products made in America. Matthew Askren, again, Family Farms LLC. As soon as we settle, we're going to be ordering from you as well. Jerry says, makes me wonder how this year will end recruiting-wise. A lot of junk going on. November, vote. Get out and vote. Don't complain if you don't vote. That's why I've been complaining, because I did vote. Best spun webs, like, they're 550 cord. Yes, crazy. It's crazy times right now. That's why last time, remember, we talked about be prepared. Ammo, guns, food. Head on a swivel. Right? I got kids in a bunch of different states, man. I worry. Be prepared. Old Irene says, yes, banana spiders were not good in NTA. And yes, the other bananas too. Banana spiders is big. If you haven't seen a banana spider, they are that big with big long legs and always want to attack. Their webs are about 6 feet. They can trap your whole body. Not afraid of spiders. I just don't like them. That's from my wife. I'm not afraid of them. I just don't like them. Who does? Tarantulas, I don't mind. Funny, here's the funny stories. I don't mind tarantula, maybe because I know they're not poisonous, or I don't know why. They're slow, kind of. They don't move that fast. You can catch them and hold them. But the little spiders, the ones that move fast, those are the ones I don't like. Danger. I'm excited and nervous at the same time. We got you. Again, just, you can be nervous, you can be excited, you can be anxious. Remember I told y'all, my dad told me, as long as you're not afraid, don't be afraid. You can be scared, you can be nervous, don't be afraid. Yeah, right? The tarantulas, not venomous. They look spooky. If you poke them, they shake the web. Jerry, did you see the yeah. Okinawa? Anyone here in the Space Force? Good question. I don't think we've had anybody in this community in the Space Force. Jared says they're not shaking their web, they're playing the air guitar. Does anyone know why? I'm assuming that metaphor means the dams, he damns everyone. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Jared, that's awesome. LOL. What did Jared say? I missed it. Did I miss it? Oh, playing air guitar. Yes. Just stick with it, Captain. You'll get there. I'm telling you, you can't. You got to keep us posted now, Captain Danger. You got to go for it. And next time we talk, we want to know when your laser eye surgery appointment is, and then we'll be watching and praying, and then you come back and tell us it was a success, and then after that, your enlistment. Go for it. Cave divers. Man, we crunched tarantulas at Fort Sill on a few rucks. That was nasty because they're big. They're big. I caught one out my front porch one time, and as much as I wanted to kill it, I just couldn't. It's like a pet. It's like an animal. So we trapped it and threw it in the field. Maybe that's why he didn't come back to haunt me, because I saved him. Big and ugly. Banana spiders and camel spiders. Told you about that camel spider story in Iraq. This baby was working on a laptop in this old mud house, crazy, dirty, filthy. There's rats and stuff. Working late at night one time, waiting for a patrol to come in, and a camel spider right in front of the computer screen. Nice and slow, boom, hit the desk and looked up at me like this. Both his arms came up like he was going to come at me. I may have screamed. No one was there to witness it, so no, of course I didn't. Of course I manned up. Paya. But I'm telling you, he looked at me like just like this, like looked up nice and slow, like, go ahead. What are you gonna do? And he came at me. I got him. Captain Danger says, my dad said never to take anything personally because he did, and he had a horrible time with the higher ups. Nothing, take nothing personal. He just, when you have some higher ups that just make no sense, no common sense, they make poor decisions, you get in that era, right? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Era. Semper Fi. Right? Those are all. You know what it means. Yes, there are some. I know you responded to something else, Noah, but yes, there's some clowns in charge. Again, they get in that position and they just lose their common sense, right? Now I'm in charge. Now I just got to make decisions. No, step back, detach yourself, and look and get the bigger picture. All right. A lot of weird bugs in deployments. Remember one time I was sitting in an OPLP, listening post, observation post. I was just there to report. I had my radio right here, hands on the weapons. There were blanks and stuff. We're just playing in the field, pretending, not pretending, simulating. Marines don't pretend. Sitting there forever. I think I even peed on myself a couple times, waiting for hours. In Okinawa, it was raining, it stopped. Just miserable. Felt bugs crawling all over me. A praying mantis crawled up on my rifle. You know, I had that weird triangle-shaped head. I swear, same thing. He looked right back at me like, "What are you doing out here, bro? You've been out here forever. You haven't moved." And he like can't look right at my face. His big eyes were looking at me like just was tripping on me as much as I was tripping on him. And then he just kind of walked away, and I said, "Slow." Never saw him again. Just take it as a correction or a learning issue. Here's what I like to say about those bad leaderships that take nothing personal. Learn from it. You learn just as much from bad leaders as you do good leaders. And here's how you can measure a bad leader. Remember, people don't leave bad units, they leave bad leaders or bad leadership. That's when you realize when you have good people leaving an organization, something's wrong with the organization, not that person. That's when, as a leader, you got to step back. What am I doing wrong? What's going on wrong here? We got awesome people leaving this organization. With them goes even more progress. So if you have one, sure, something could come up. Two, wait a minute, what's going on here? When you have a high turnover, something's wrong. You're not doing something right. There's really no other way to look at it. You may not have all the answers. Take a step back, get a survey, communicate. Transparency always helps. 100% transparency. Rebecca says, need a good staff NCO or chief to mentor young officers. I gotta tell you, I've been fortunate throughout my career. I had a couple bad officers who I'm in charge. I'm a lieutenant, and what I say goes because I went to college and you did it. Very few of those, though. Very few. Most of them knew that, yes, I am the lieutenant. I'm overall in charge, but command staffs aren't. How do we do this? The best officers by far. And as they go up through the chain of command and become lieutenant colonels and colonels, as long as they remember that, what got them, what kind of teamwork got them to those positions, really makes for a great, great officer. I've known tons of them. The bad ones, you learn just as much of the bad ones. Excuse me. You learn what not to do, right? So you can learn from both. Take notes. Refer to it later. It's going to happen. Captain Danger said, what's the sleep schedule like? My girlfriend's in boot camp and said it's terrible. Not that my current sleep schedule isn't terrible. She's in Marine Corps boot camp. What boot camp is she in, Captain Danger? If she's in Air Force boot camp, she's chilling. She's getting plenty of sleep. Just when they come tuck her in at night, maybe they're a little loud. That's the Air Force. Just kidding. But not kidding. Marine Corps boot camp, you get 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Well, you get 8 hours of sleep. It might be interrupted every now and then. As a drill instructor, I remember we had to be on deck 30 minutes after TAPS. When was TAPS? 21:30? After TAPS, we had to be on deck 30 minutes, walking around making sure all the recruits are in the rack and they're actually going to sleep. That's when you hear them crying and stuff. I remember checking the rifles. We had the rifles in the squad bay. I don't know if they still do. Rifle racks in the back, all the way around the outside of the bunks. And we had to check them, make sure they were locked. Right? They had a bar and a cable. And of course, I would check them like this. Shake it back and forth. We wanted to make sure it was actually locked. So for those 30 minutes, I might have woken a couple or kept a couple recruits up. And then throughout the night, the fire watch. Again, we're talking about sleeping. And here's the thing. You're so tired in boot camp, you sleep through that stuff as well. So I just remember the mornings. I told you the worst part of boot camp for me was the mornings. God, I hated it, getting up early. So we talked about fire watch. What fire watch is the best shift to have? The last one. Because you can kind of wake up slower. You're up, your eyes adjust, your body adjusts, and you're already dressed and ready when the drill instructors come out, banging the trash can lids. You're already up. So the last fire watch, in my opinion, by far the best one to have. Middle of the night sucks because you sleep for a little bit, you got to get up, and then you go back to sleep. First one or the last one. First one wouldn't be as bad, but you are losing. I guess you're losing sleep either way, but first or last one. Middle of the night's cool, I guess, because nobody's up, nobody messes with you. Did he ever say, Captain Danger ever say what boot camp his girlfriend is in? Answer isn't. I was out as soon as we got permission to sleep. Slept like a rock. I want to believe I did too. Oddly enough, I never slept better than in boot camp, I'm telling you, because you're so wore out. You nonstop from 0530, from Reveille to TAPS. You don't stop moving. Every now and then you're sitting in the classroom and you kind of doze off, but it's just nonstop. And that's not what teenagers are used to. They're used to waking up at noon, doing a couple of things to eat, and then going back to sleep for a little bit, and then playing outside, whatever, for a little bit. So yes, just the op tempo, if you will, is enough to make you go right to sleep. Navy boot camp. So his girlfriend's in Navy boot camp. Again, I've seen the boot camp videos. I only been to one boot camp, but we know the Marines is the hardest, and there's some stress, I think, slung in other boot camp, all the branches of service. I think the first couple of days, I just watched something on, it was Army. The first couple of days was pretty intense. They got the shark attack. Again, that's the first day or two where they're all over them and screaming and hollering and yelling, and then it dies out. Still more intense than your civilian life for sure. Just the difference is Marine Corps boot camp is 24/7 up until after the crucible. So it just never ends. Captain Dinger says, oh, shoot. Didn't even think about that. How am I supposed to not fall asleep during class? I'm telling you, it's tough. It's tough. And I think I did do a short on sleeping, right? As a drill instructor, I remember falling asleep walking a recruit to medical or something. So it's tough. As a recruit, you're sitting in that, if it's a summer air-conditioned theater, you're listening to some Marine up there talking about Marine Corps history, which you couldn't care less about at the time. Comfortable, nice seats, and it is tough to stay awake. Someone told me they hand sanitizer, would just sniff it the whole time to stay awake. Kept getting hand sanitizer. It was probably during COVID times, who knows. But you have to find ways to stay awake. DIs will catch you. But know this, the little secret, drill instructors out there, don't get mad at me. Drill instructors in the back doing the same thing. Because they're 24/7. They're on the move all the time. And when they get in that air-conditioned room or that heated classroom in the winter and sit down. Once you sit down, it's over. My favorite story is a drill instructor falling asleep. This guy is Sergeant Bryant. We were both boots, first cycle together, DI school together. He was so much louder than me. God, it used to piss me off. He was so loud, so intense. I try to keep up with him. We're in a chow line at Edson Range, and it was long, big L-shaped chow line, 89 recruits. He was in the front, I was in the back. We're just stressing him out as they're getting ready to go into chow. And he was laying, we were that far away, and he was still louder than me. And he's like, you better, I don't know what you're doing. He was yelling at some kid, and all of a sudden I didn't hear him anymore. I was like, oh, shoot, am I getting louder than him? I can't hear him anymore. I look over, and he's dead asleep. Finger in some recruit's face, just took a little nap. And then out of nowhere, get your hand off your face. I thought I saw you did. Just like that. Took a little cat nap. Refreshed, ready to go. Awesome. Sergeant Bryant, he was crazy. 1775 Tavern, staff, URAH. Jeremy, were you there? Big I was Army. Cave diver was Army. Maybe wrong guy. I was at Riley base housing. It was nice, closer, and no fighting gate after PT. Love it. Frank says, are females sent to MCRD San Diego? Or did Camp Pendleton break them? No, they're going both now. Females are in both San Diego and Paris Island at one company, right, at San Diego, I believe. Had to hit the restart button. I'm telling you, Noah, this dude, it was amazing to me. Stop. He just stopped in mid-sentence, screaming at someone. Took a little nap, probably about 3 or 4 seconds, boom, snapped right out of it, and caught a kid scratching his face with his eyes closed. So yes, drill instructors do have eyes in the back of their head. Old Jyrene, yes, females now also go to San Diego. One company, they disbanded 4th Battalion in Paris Island, so they're still separated, segregated, but they're in the companies now. So just females in a female barracks and a female training, but they are in the companies as well. So yes, it did change a few years ago. Who knows? Who knows how long ago? When was that first change? 3 years? It seems like 4 years. Serious question. I don't like WMs and boot and MCRD. I don't know how I feel about it, Jared. I talked to some drill instructors when I was down there. Of course, they're going to have some growing pains, but it doesn't matter to me either way. Again, as long as the requirements stay the same, our standards stay the same, Marines are Marines. Giovanni says, you still didn't answer my question. What is the best watch to wear? Thank you. For what? I like a G-Shock. G-Shock's pretty tough. I'm pretty brutal on watches. I don't spend a lot of money on watches. G-Shocks are about $100. They seem to last. I will change the battery once, but once you change the battery in G-Shocks, they're water resistant is not guaranteed anymore. A lot of surfing, so my watches get wet. Is that your question, Giovanni? I like G-Shocks. Bryce, I'm with you, brother. The co-ed part would take some time getting used to. Again, as long as the standards don't change, right? And they never end up in the same barracks. You're just asking for trouble. It's just unnecessary. Why would they even bother? Can they do McMap together? Can they do PT together? The O course, sure. Why not? I think men and women should boot together. FMF is a different story. You know what? So I can't remember if I read it or someone was talking about it. What it does help is, so when they do get to the fleet, men and women, they already have some experience, like male Marines, already have some experience with female Marines in boot camp and in MCT and then in your MOS school. So it's not all of a sudden you're a male Marine, you've been around males for 3 months, you go to SOI males, 3 more months males, and then you go to a unit where there's female Marines. Like, what the hell is that? So I kind of agree with that. Again, if you're a good Marine, you're a good Marine. It's not going to affect anything. Do they have problems with male and females doing some male and female things. I'm sure that they did have problems with it. But again, you're a good Marine. You have a good unit, good organization. There won't be a problem. Captain Daniel says, every pilot in my family owns a G-Shock. Holy, you know what? I love G-Shocks. I even have a nice silver G-Shock I wear when I dress up, which is still a G-Shock though. I do have been, I no affiliation to G-Shock either, but I do love their watches. All right, chicken, Sergeant Major, everybody. Have a great evening, and I will see y'all Sunday. Semper Fi, chicken. Get some. Appreciate you being here, brother. We will see you on Sunday. We definitely will. 28-day movement with hygiene. What is that? Deployed. Let's talk about what realistically happens on 28. I don't know. Held at 30. 28-day movement with hygiene. I'm not sure what that is. See you, chicken, says Carl. Carl, still here. I know you're watching my back, watching for trolls, and keep me on time. What is it, 28? Or the held at 30? Okay, good luck, buddy. These chats will be invested. Still, Carlos with the investigates? What are you going to investigate? Investigate it? Carlos, what are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Cave Diver. Cave Diver. What is Carlos talking about? Oh, man. It's a damn good show. Who's that? Yes, I'm with you. Come see him. Carl, go see Cave Diver. Do some investigation. I mean, some investigates. What is even going on? I'm with you, Captain Danger. Yes, Noah called it. Big M. Just a quick hello. I always love when this channel comes up. Big M, love you, brother. Thank you. Semper Fi, my friend. Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday. I made the grass grow and I still can. Blood makes the grass grow. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Love it. B-Lock, good to see you, brother. Hurrah. It is, you know, my screen has been frozen up here, Carl. Why has my screen been frozen this whole time? Chat's going, but the screen has been frozen. Always makes me wonder. Giovanni says, what's the joke about crayons? Marine eating crayons. That's, again, I love talking about it. It's something that I think they just trying to get at Marines somehow, some way. They got to make themselves feel better than Marines. It's never going to happen. Crayons is, I thought it was fairly new. Crayon eaters. And how I took it as, like, that's all discipline. That term, just shut up and color. Now, you don't ask no questions. Why do we got to do this? Why you got to, that, again, to me is like, that's what the Air Force guy would do. Well, why do we have to go PT? Just shut up and color. Do what you're told. So I like it. And yes, when people try to, red's pretty good too. Anderson Ho, have a good night. You as well. Yep, good on my end. Internet connection, oh, it's terrible. I be locked. Nobody said anything all night. Carl says it's good. If Carl says it's good, it's good. We are in there. People are jealous of us, so they poke fun any way they possibly can. Did y'all see the community post from our producer? There's a meme says, I picked Marines so I can talk shit the rest of my life. Rake sand and stack rocks in a military manner. B-Lock says, E4 Mafia is the greatest group of individuals to ever grace the earth. There's some pride in the E4 Mafia. They don't play. E4 Mafia, you don't play. You don't talk about what happens in the E4 Mafia. You don't talk about. I have a good connection. It's good on my end too. People are jealous, so I already read that. Did any of you have to carry the pink anchor? No, what is that? Jared, is that clean? Pink anchor. Better be clean, Jared. Sometimes you worry me. Giovanni, I'm going to eat some crayons and go to bed. That's it. There you go, Giovanni. Captain Danger, some Marines entertain the crayons eating joke. Saw a video of some Marines in a helicopter, and one of them takes out a pack of crayons and passes it around. That's awesome. Aerial Resupply Coffee. He did some stuff on crayons one time. He's Army guy. And he had a cup of coffee, and he said, I don't put cream and sugar in my coffee. And he had a crayon, and he was scraping some crayons into his coffee. That's good. Got you on the pink anchor. All good stuff. Captain Johnson there was pink anchor they made Marines carried if they did something really stupid as a punishment. That's cool. I like things like that. Traditions like that. Proud mama, Jonah. Proud mama to a new Army tanker. Just received the first promotion, currently on first deployment in Poland for the safe home. We're praying for the safe home return to Jonah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Get your son on the channel as well. We love all services here. We love all veterans, all family members, all patriots. Love all of you. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe. Tell your Army son and his buddies, get them all on the channel. Let's grow this community. Continue to do stuff like we just did tonight, like we do every Sunday and every Wednesday. You guys are awesome. Love you all. God bless you all. This was an awesome Wednesday night live, and we'll definitely see you all on Sunday. I'm going to continue to read the chats as I land this helicopter. We will see you Sunday night. God bless you all. Semper Fi, my friend. Hurrah.